Hey guys, it is me. I know it's been a few days and I'm sorry about that. I've been a bit under the weather with my physical health stuff. The Ehlers-Danlos syndrome has been kicking my lily white arse. So give me a second here. Product placement. I know, they should really be paying me. So anyway, but I wanted to just do a little short video today, although it'll end up probably being a long one as usual. But I've just kind of dragged my carcass out of bed to do this because I've been thinking about it for a few days. While I have been stuck in bed, I have been online doing my little groups as usual, my cluster B groups, and one of the women that I really respect in the group, who hopefully will be doing some interview questions I had for her, she is BPD, and which is borderline personality disorder, and she will completely change the way you see borderline people. She is extremely level-headed. She is one of the most intelligent women I've ever met, really well-spoken, and she is in school right now for psychology and is studying all this stuff. So she has all like the latest interview. I'm stuck on the interview thing. She's got all the latest information, all the latest education regarding cluster B personality disorders and psychology in general. So looking forward to when she has time to address the questions I gave her, which admittedly has a lot of really in-depth stuff. So if you're watching, Nicole, how you doing? Anyway, there was a question that came up. One of the women who was talking, who was also ASPD, mentioned that there is a difference between emotion and feelings. And Nicole and I were kind of like, really? We didn't actually recognize that. And so of course I had to look it up real quick. And of course it's useful information to her because of, you know, being in school for all this stuff. So I just did a quick online search, and then it turned into a more in-depth online search. And indeed, there is a difference between emotion and feeling, which completely makes sense to me, because emotion is a stimuli. And it always kind of made me question, like, do I just not respond to that particular stimuli? It's a physiological stimuli that comes in, you know, like when someone, you know, dies, it is like you can get like a, you know, it's a response that people have, whether or not, but what you choose to do with it can be something totally different. And that's what feelings are. Emotion is the stimuli that comes in. The feelings are how you respond to that stimuli. And that is what is different in terms of people with ASPD and NPD. It is, our response is different. And that can be either because of, you know, nature or nurture, and the, you know, the jury is always kind of out for that. Sorry, cat hair is always. And so, you know, I've always said that people, you know, you can have two people who are experiencing the exact same emotional input, and yet they'll respond in two completely different ways. And they can be from the same family, and yet they have two completely different responses, two different feelings about the same stimuli, the same emotional stimuli. And that is what's different about people who are not neurotypical. And, you know, people with cluster B disorders are not neurotypicals. So that is something that makes a huge difference in the way you can perhaps view cluster B personality disorders. We do not have a neurotypical response to feelings. We still get the emotional input. We get the stimuli like anybody else on the planet does, but it is what we do with that stimuli that is different. You know, it's when you have ASPD, if you think about it, you know, you're getting barraged with all this emotional input by abusive parents. That's very intense emotional input that is coming in. But we are taught early on that if we respond emotionally, you know, overly emotionally to the stimuli, the result is not good. You know, we are either abused or we are ignored, one or the other, or sometimes one or the other depending on what day of the week it is. If the moon is in Aquarius, we might have a different response from the parents. And so we are taught not to respond emotionally. And that is why we do not respond emotionally now. I'm sorry, we don't respond with feelings. Our feelings are buried. We don't have the same feelings other people do to emotional stimuli. And our emotional empathy is so low. our affective empathy is so low. We talked about the different kinds of empathy. There's cognitive empathy, which is, the way that we can perceive empathy at an intellectual level, and understand that someone is feeling a certain way, but not necessarily feel it. There's the emotional empathy, which is what most people think of when they think of empathy, like having that like feeling with someone else when they're experiencing an emotional situation. And then there is affective empathy, which is, I think I'm getting the term right in any case, where you experience kind of the perfect combination of the two, which is the kind of empathy we all want. Everyone wants to have, where they can perceive both kinds of empathy. They can intellectually perceive it and they can emotionally perceive it. And that way you get like the kind of empathy that people, they open shelters and because they can intellectually perceive what needs to be done. What can I do to help this situation? And, it gives them like the impetus to take action. And then there's the emotional empathy where like they feel for those people. And that's what causes, that's what gives people the impetus to do something about it and make change in the world. So, but unfortunately people with ASPD tend to just have the intellectual kind, which, we can still decide to make change in the world, but we may not care enough to actually go ahead and do it, right? So that is the difference between all those three. But in any case, as I was saying, there is the feelings and then there are the emotions. The emotions cause the feelings. And if you have little response to the cause of the feelings, then those feelings are going to be buried or perhaps not even existent, depending on the level of abuse, depending on the brain chemistry, the neural pathways that may have gotten completely jacked up because of the abuse, because that happens. When you are abused, your neural pathways do not respond the same way as a neurotypical does. They just don't. They get damaged. We just don't respond the same way. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, because it's something I wasn't really aware of. I mean, I think in the back of my head it was kind of like a piece that was missing, and now I know what it was. So excuse me. So that's some definite food for thought there. This is going to be a short video. As I mentioned, I'm really not feeling well today. My illness is kind of kicking up a storm with me today. I've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Maybe I could talk about that a little bit, in terms of how, just like anybody else in the world, when I get ill, it's not like I have like some kind of, effective parkour where I can just like keep going, and because I have ASPD, I've got like some kind of weird superpower thing. I totally don't. I am just, I need to spend the day in bed like anybody else does. I feel like shit like anybody else does. People, I get such funny, impressions of people in some of the groups that I'm in. Like this, I'm in this really great psychopathy group actually, which I really enjoy. The admin is this woman that I enjoy her quite a bit. Some of the people in the group are the kind of like, they do the whole edgy kind of thing, which is amusing to me as always. Like, they kind of have taken on the whole I'm American Psycho Joker kind of persona thing, which is, and my belief is anybody with true psychopathy doesn't need to really try that hard, honestly. And like anyone else, we catch colds, we feel like shit, we get taken down by health issues like anyone else does. Although we may be able to, I think it's all just strength of will. Like anyone else, we have, some of us have stronger will than others. And I've had a really strong will for many, many years. Like going over 20 years, I've been working through severe physical problems and illness. Where just now at my age of 54, it's just now kind of taking me down. But I've had this genetic condition, my whole life. It's a genetic condition. I've been ill for a very, very long time, and I've kept going for a very long time. I lived a very, very intense and full life for a very, very long time. But, it's kind of, getting to the point where it's like, okay, I need to slow down. Because my body can't take it anymore, and I've got arthritis on top of the Ehlers-Danlos, and all those years of doing dance and martial arts and all those things, it's like my body's like, no, we're done doing all that. So yeah, I spent the past several days like just not even really leaving the house and just in bed and just in a lot of pain. And I'm waiting for pain meds to, you know, get approved by the doc again. So I should have done that days ago, but I was holding out like an asshole, like an idiot. Oh God, I always wait till the last minute because I figure I'll just tough it out, and then I'm wishing I hadn't done that. So in any case, that's what I'm waiting for. So I got my shit together enough to put on a little bit of makeup and put on some clothes. And here I am in front of the camera and trying to give you a decent video, some little food for thought, you know. But that's pretty much it for me for the day. I think that I am done. But I will try to, I know there's a couple comments I don't think I have not responded to yet. So if that's the case and you're one of the people who I've not responded to, I will get to you, I promise. I've just been in bed and not really doing anything but sort of like scrolling through Facebook and, you know, watching movies and stuff like that. I haven't had the energy to do much of anything else, like no real engagement with other people right now, because I just need to, when I'm not feeling well, I just kind of need to isolate and do my thing, so I can kind of recover. And people take a lot of energy. You all just take a lot of energy, whether I like you or not. It's like, I just need to isolate and, you know, heal, kind of like a, you know, when your cat is sick, it crawls under the table and doesn't come out and deal with you for a couple of days. So that's me. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. Hopefully I'll be feeling better in a couple of days. We shall see. It comes and goes like any other kind of chronic illness, and that's where I'm at. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video about the difference between emotion and feelings, and how the two separate, and how that relates to people with ASPD, and everything else I talked about. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And I promise I will be making another longer video in a couple of days once I'm feeling a little bit better, which, you know, hopefully will happen soon. And anyway, I hope y'all are doing good, and I will talk to you soon. Please feel free to leave comments below, and I appreciate you all very much for watching my videos, and I will get back with you all soon. Bye.